Hi.
Hi.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jill. And we're
HipStrings.
HipStrings.
Welcome to day A of the 2022 Base12 Spinalong, and happy solstice.
And I got this mug today from a friend. It says, sometimes you forget you're awesome, so this is your reminder. So, same to you guys.
Thanks for joining us. So with you spinning day A, you can go ahead and I will let you do that introduction.
Day A is a HipString signature blend. It is Vulcan. So it is 50% merino, 25% Shetland, 12.5% sari silk, 12.5% tussa silk.
And I spun that on day...
Yeah, you've spun this before.
On day 5. So, if those of you that were paying attention. And I'm going to be spinning day 9. I already pre-rolled because it's at that point where it's just like roll 2 dice, roll 2 dice, roll 2. Oh, there's one.
Tomorrow you might as well just flip a coin, right?
Yes, I could do that. But I actually have a plan.
You have a plan?
Because I have a leftover one. I have 2 of them. And one of them is day 10.
Ooh.
So I think I'm just going to do the non-day 10, and we can both do day 10 together.
So we end up at the same place?
Yeah.
Nice.
I like ending up where you are. So day 9 is Grease Freud, hand-carded bat.
So last night, what I was spinning.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
That is 60% merino wool, 10% Cormo cross fleece. What does that mean?
It means a Cormo sheep got impregnated by...
Oh, it's a Cormo cross. Okay.
Who knows?
Yeah.
And had a baby.
Gotcha. Cormo cross with something. Gotcha. 10% tussa silk, 10% mulberry silk, 5% sari threads, and 5% peduncle silk. And you have such a fantastic unified combination of colors where it still provides some level of texture, but it's all nice and uniform. And consistent and matchy.
Yeah.
I also realized I'm not looking at where our comment is. Red says hi.
Hi, Red.
So it's good that I saw that. I'm also realizing I'm very gray today because I'm wearing gray sweaters, spinning gray fiber.
Oh, I am not gray, and I'm spinning gray.
But your gray is also not very gray.
Yeah.
So since I brought up the topic of sweaters, we can go into our sweaters. Would you like to talk about your sweater
I
first?
am wearing my Crazy Heart knit in Bowie DK. So this is like a 5-year-old sweater.
Really doesn't like it. Is that it? Is that
That's
all you're
it.
going to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have an entire family's worth of sweaters, but Nick and I only are the ones who still fit in ours.
Yeah, well, because all the other children grew.
Yes. But we all knit Crazy Hearts for our family trip to Rhinebeck.
Which is the only time I've been to Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
You've been one other time before?
I've been one other time before.
Yeah. And I am wearing my Batu or Bust sweater. So, I feel like I talk about Star Wars an awful lot on this show.
I mean, you talk about Star Wars a lot.
Yeah, I might like it a little bit. So, this is... Why can I not remember the name of the base pattern?
Strange Brew.
Strange Brew, thank you. I should remember that. Strange Brew. And...
By Tin Can Knits.
Thank you.
It's a, like, choose your own adventure colorwork sweater pattern.
And the nice thing is that you get to define your color work. Like, they have a section where, like, you could do this thing, or you can put whatever you want in there. So I took the opportunity to design a Star Wars themed one. So you can see here, there's the Rebels on one side with their base on what, Tantive? No, that's the ship. God, now I'm seeming like a terrible Star Wars fan.
Gosh, yeah.
You could tell I'm tired.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, it'll come to me like right when it doesn't matter.
It's like something 5.
Yeah, that's why I get confused with Tantive, but no, it's anyways. And then the Death Star with the Empire, and then on the back I have the Tantive 5, and I have a Star Destroyer and A-wing and B-wing and all the best ships. But what is the best secret aspect of it is around the neck, written in Galactic Standard, which is the Star Wars language. It says Batu or Bust. Batu is the Star Wars land in Disney World and Disneyland that I knit this sweater for when we went in February of 2020.
February of 2020.
Right before everything went to hell. So, yeah, we wore this. We all made
There you
hand
go.
knits.
Yavin 4.
Yavin 4, that's what it
Yavin
was.
4.
It wasn't 5, it was 4. Why did I forget that? Oh my god.
At least we knew there was a number.
I need to watch Star Wars 1 again, or 4 again. Anyways, oh, and so I'm falling way behind on the comments here.
Yes.
I'll take a break for that. Amy said that she got a winner on her first roll today, payback for having to brave Market District this afternoon. Diane rolled a 12 and says she loves both of our sweaters. Lenora's the one that came in and saved with Yavin 4 and messed up by autocorrect, which she is still fighting. And Amy said, fun fact, Dave Filoni is best friends with her brother.
Dave Filoni is the current, story master of the Star Wars universe.
And she's still friends with Dave's brother. They all grew up together. Well, Amy, you need to totally show Dave a picture of my sweater at some point in time, because just for him to know that this exists would give me glee. Yeah, get on that. But yeah, Jill has her own Batu or Bust sweater that shrank in the wash, right?
No, it's had some mishaps.
It's had some mishaps, but you still have it.
I still have it, but the last mishap required some intensive washing, which resulted in some mild shrinkage.
Which is why I said it shrank in the wash.
Yeah.
So it was not my fault.
No.
I will say that. But that one was white and had tauntauns and AT-ATs.
Tauntauns and AT-ATs.
And I think there's some snow speeders on there too, because you can't have
yes,
AT-ATs
I think so.
without snow speeders, right? And then we made hats, because the kids weren't getting hand knit sweaters right before we were going to Disney, because of how long are you going to wear sweaters in
Florida
heat, even in February. So we made hats for them. One that had lightsabers and two porgs.
Yeah.
And we made this repeat of a porg pattern. So if anybody is interested in those, we can absolutely post the patterns online. I've already shared.
We have the files somewhere.
Yeah, I've already shared the stitch pattern for this a couple of times. But if anybody's interested, please feel free to comment, and we will find a place to distribute it. And Amy says she'd be happy to hand off pics to his brother. So awesome. I will.
We have some pics from us.
We do have some pics from us in
Disney.
Batu.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had lots of fun with this. It's making me want to knit some more.
Well, you need to knit your Poe
Oh my
sweaters.
God! I forgot about that. I need to knit the Poe sweater. So, I feel like I talked about this once before.
I don't think so.
Okay, I know I've told this story to somebody. Last year, the Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar, and I am getting really deep into serious nerddom here, right? Like combining all of my hobbies, add some 3D printing there and then we're golden. Last year's Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar had a Poe Dameron that had a holiday sweater that was a BB-8, right? So, I mean, how much of a sweater can a Lego guy have, right? It's just a green top, but it has what looked like pixelated BB-8 with some snowflakes on it and stuff. So I want to knit that sweater because I don't know if you've noticed, I look a little bit like Poe Dameron.
Yes.
I mean, when
you
I
may
shave
have some
and
familiarity with Oscar Isaac.
yes, his we have some similar facial features. So I totally want to knit myself the Podameron BB-8 holiday sweater. So that's my next sweater project that I keep saying I'm going to start. After I finish all those giant mochi mochis, which, by the way, I was informed earlier that Amy somehow, after learning of this book yesterday, went to something called a brick and mortar store, and actually in person was able to purchase something and didn't have to wait for delivery. Like, I don't understand how this works.
I'm guessing that's how she acquired this. I mean, we bought that book in a brick and mortar store.
Did we really?
Yes, we
I
did.
forgot. So,
but it wasn't a yarn shop, strangely, or a bookstore.
That's right. That was okay.
It was like a generic gift store.
Yeah. So yeah, Amy has apparently already purchased that book and is going to be knitting some giant.
I mean, they make excellent throw pillows.
They do. They really do.
Our throw pillows are giant knit things and squishables.
And not to beat the Star Wars dead horse here, but one of the next giant knits I want to make is, you got me a Star Wars knitting book, I think it was last year for Christmas, right? Or
yes.
for my birthday or something. But they have a giant throw Death Star, which, I mean, is a textured gray ball, right? Like, that's a good pillow. Amy noted that she was able to find the giant Mochi Mochi book in Barnes & Noble.
See, actual bookstore.
An actual bookstore. I'm sorry, I thought they only sold games and toys at Barnes & Noble now. And DVDs. They still sell DVDs there. That's weird.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure they're Blu-rays now.
No, they actually have DVDs. There's probably Blu-rays as well.
And they sell records.
They sell records. Like, I mean, they're missing mini discs. Otherwise, I'd say, like, all forms of archaic media storage, they'd be carrying. VHS, floppy, zip drive, stone tablets. And they have some form of tablets there. Ha ha ha.
The puns aren't supposed to come till later, Nick.
No, they're not, but they just flow through me. What was it you were telling somebody? Give in to the hate?
Yes.
Give in to this,
let the hate flow through you.
Yeah, let the dead jokes flow through you. 8 tracks. There's another good. I have actually never listened to an 8-track. That shows my age, or lack thereof. I'm dating myself. That's the proper term. Oh my god, I got a big slab of silicon here. Let's. You know what the problem is? I didn't divide my fiber. That always messes me up.
So you know how we were complaining about, like, everybody likes to pile on millennials?
Yes.
I was watching a Bernadette Banner video, and she's talking about, she did, for a joke, set up an OnlyFans account for saucy Victorian ankle pics.
Yeah.
And she ran it for like a week to see like how many subscribers she'd get.
Yeah.
But she went into the whole, like, there isn't actually evidence of ankles being sexualized.
Yeah.
In Victorian times, that it's more of this people in the early 20th century kind of shit posting about Victorians.
Okay.
Of how crazy they were to obsess about women exposing their ankles or their shoulder or this.
So this is every millennials, even the 1900s and the 1800s
she's talking
millennials.
about how, like, there's this general trend in popular culture going back centuries to shit post about, like, the culture from, like, 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's always the case. I remember there was a story about how, all these kids that are on their phones all the time and how that's going to ruin everything. And then it was, like, immediately followed by a picture of people in like, again, probably like the 1920s or 40s or something, where it was just this sea of people with their nose stuck in a newspaper.
Yeah.
And like walking around not paying attention to anything but what was in the newspaper. Yeah. People don't change, just technology.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of terrible puns, though, I will do
Oh
one.
gosh, no.
Well,
You already
I
shared.
mean, am I just limited to the one at the end? So I'm not allowed to do any more. I think our audience would approve of more interspersed,
More punnage?
more punnage, more punniness.
Maybe.
Well, I was just gonna say the whole thing about since I don't have to be all Star Wars nerddom all the time. There's some Marvel nerddom in there as well.
Oh gosh.
Well, because Gab was telling me about how they were looking for black pants, and I couldn't like they couldn't find any black pants, but they ended up finding a pair of black pants, and I was like, well, why are you so obsessed with finding black pants? Are you the Black Panther?
He already told me this one.
Yeah, that met with a. See, my kids aren't even fazed by this anymore. They're like, no, Dad, I'm not the Black Panther. Shut up. And then they move on to something else because they just have come to expect this from me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, how's your gauge?
These slubs are
Helping you out?
Yeah, no. Making me all over the place.
It's oh my gosh, what happened here? Look at that.
That's the sorry threads.
Yeah, that's a bit much though.
Yeah, so just toss it. Do you already see my litter pile down there?
I do. Okay, here, I'm gonna join you. I'm just thinking about who's
We have
going to be
the
cleaning.
most colorful dust bunnies.
We do have the most colorful dust bunnies. They're great. And by the way, Red is supporting the more punniness. So I don't think I have any more. Not until the last one. For the
You did your research.
I did my research.
Oh my god.
Yeah?
Nothing, just...
You should complain to the maker. No, it's not the fiber. It's the what is that last little bit that you get at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was that problem.
Yeah.
I wonder if this would be improved by putting it through a Diz.
And why is that?
It's kind of like pre-drafting, but better. I've used it before to kind of... I really hate saying pre-drafting because it is not full. It's reducing the diameter of your comb top.
But why isn't it I mean, it is essentially pre-drafting. You are extending. You're how do I phrase this? You are pulling the threads more in line with each other and separating them, adding more air into it.
Yeah, it's...
Now, why would pre-drafting or using a Diz help out with this situation?
So I've done it before when taking a bat and divide a bat into vertical things. And sometimes if you have a bat that has a lot of texture in it and you have add-ins that are being difficult, pulling it through a Diz can kind of separate those fibers from clumping and kind of break them up. So that's why I don't really consider it pre-drafting. Because if I draft it, if I did pre-drafting motions like other people do pre-drafting, it wouldn't stretch out those clumps. So it really is, you need the reduction in the circumference. that a Diz provides.
Amy is suggesting you demo it, but I don't think you have any Diz's available with you right now.
I do in the other room. So if I win, I can demo it at the end.
What are you going to demo with if you win?
I've got fiber.
Somewhere in this house?
Somewhere in this house there's fiber.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got a little clump of a bat that's pretty textured because it's only been through once. And I can show with that. But I find it's useful for doing that. So if you have a bat that has like big clumps of stuff that's not necessarily going to draft evenly, if you run it through a Diz, that will kind of make it blend more. And it can be easier to spin.
And Red is saying, I concur that drafting a bat in one way or the other helps.
Yeah.
I will say that when I did, why am I forgetting the name of the bat you're on? Vulcan.
Yeah.
When I did my day of Vulcan, it did not have big clumps. So.
I just got unlucky.
You got unlucky. Wait, are you in your second half?
Yes.
I mean, I did technically, like, not split my fiber until partway through, so I don't know where I am.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, it's a mystery. All right, so I said happy solstice already, so we covered that. I am finally mostly sort of on vacation. I only have one more day of work that I've got to do sometime in the next week, which I think we're going to do Wednesday
And the
next week.
shops are closed.
And the shops are closed.
So HipStrings.com is still active. There's now a way that I can keep it so people can still browse the shop, but you can't make any orders. Like checkout's disabled.
So you can browse.
You can browse.
And then make your wish list on a piece of paper.
No, there's an app within the website to make a wish
okay,
list.
so you can make your wish list that you can then, on January 1st, whenever Jill wakes up, or you know what you should do to ring in the new year is open the shop.
Yeah. And there will be stuff getting loaded into the shop for that. I promise you.
For the new opening?
Yeah.
Or for the reopening?
Everything that's been sitting around for a while is going to be, including new blends. So there's like the Black Forest Gâteau and the confetti cake we showed off. There's the rest of Flora and Fauna. Yeah. And there's another new blend called Pa'au.
What?
Pa'au.
Pa'au?
Yeah, it's a type of shell that has kind of this iridescent quality.
Cool. I'm excited to see that one. I haven't seen that one.
Kathleen says, right as you were talking about clumps, I got a big chunk of sorry silk in the blend I'm just spinning now.
Yeah.
It happens. It's the price you pay for the chaos of sorry silk.
Wonderful, wonderful chaos. Yeah, I haven't gotten too many sorry thread issues in this.
Yeah. It's just every now and then. And you just pull it out and you throw it on the floor.
And then you
Not
take it all and you put it on your
today.
blending board.
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
Because that's usually stuff that's always going to misbehave. It's short stapled crap. Remember, sorry silk's a recycled product.
Tell me how you really feel.
I do not believe in suffering through poor fibering.
Even if it's something from your own.
Even if it's something from my own.
I see. That is wise words to live by. I mean,
because it'll interrupt your yarn, and you'll like get back to that piece of part of yarn, and you'll be like, why did I include that? That looks like crap.
Yeah. It goes into the, like, I mean, I still fall into this point where I'm just like, this is the skein of yarn, or this is the hank of fiber, or whatever, and, you know, I've got to use it all. right? And to train yourself that you are the artist, you have creative, editorial capability.
It is exactly it, being editorial.
It's a hard lesson to learn. Red says, I appreciate your blends on my level of texture. Or my level of texture, yep.
They're my level of texture too.
I'm having that last little bit that just doesn't want to end.
Yeah.
And there we go. Maybe. Okay. Next one over. Yeah, I think you're going to beat me again.
Ha.
Well, I beat you most of the days beforehand. I'm okay with this.
Finished first.
What?
Finished
Yes.
first.
No, I did not beat you. You are correct. I finished first.
We're trying to improve phrasing.
Phrasing. Yeah. So,
This batch of Vulcan is very sorry.
it's Canadian.
Yes.
So what's new with you? You're dying.
No, I'm not dying. Well, I finished all my obligations to the shops today, except I've got like 2 orders that have to go out tomorrow because I have
Good.
to finish up bats for them. So now I get to focus a little bit on the holidays.
Oh, people definitely did pay attention to the whole like, oh, shop's closing tomorrow. Let's order something last minute.
Yeah. So I get to, you know, focus on the holidays for a couple days and then plan stuff. You know how I love planning stuff.
Well, we have,
and then I have to count all the stuff
and
have that sobering
that is not nearly
day.
as fun. We do have a question, by the way. A couple of comments. Amy says, having started my adult crafting with quilting, I struggle with waste. Yeah. I've never done quilting. I don't think I'll ever.
I mean,
get
you
into
can
it, but-
always like collect your little bits and use them to stuff a pin cushion.
Yeah. Or stuffed animals or whatever. I
Yeah.
remember there was a time where I was collecting all the little, like, 3-inch ends of sock yarn
Yeah.
to use as stuffing for a stuffed animal. And I probably collected it for like 2 years. And then I was able to stuff like a hand.
I mean,
or,
I
like,
can do that a
head.
lot faster with yarn ties when I'm dyeing yarn. So there are shoe boxes full.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they do get used, but not at the rate that I generate.
And Red has a question for everybody of, do I have to shovel the snow tomorrow morning when it's like minus 15?
What's your HOA requirement?
I was going to say, it depends on what your HOA says. Me personally, at my house, that snow would be staying there because it's not going to melt and turn into ice at minus 15, let me tell you that.
Mm-hmm. And you've got a Subi.
And you've got a Subi, yeah. But what was the other term that we learned?
Scooby.
Scooby.
How much snow are you supposed to get, Red? I'm very disappointed because, like, we're supposed to get, like, an inch or 2 out of this big storm. And if it's going to be in the single digits...
You want some snow?
I want some snow.
Keep ourselves warm by playing in the snow.
I just want something pretty to look at.
Yeah.
An excuse not to leave the house.
Red is saying no HOA. No Fly says no HOA. Lenora says that's when you pull out your wallet. I don't think the wallet is going to shovel much snow, though.
But it may attract a teenager.
I thought we were doing phrasing.
Do not solicit teenagers.
I mean, only for shoveling snow?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is true. Apparently, my parents had a teenager in the neighborhood that was shoveling snow, and then learned that they would make a lot more money by shoveling snow for businesses, so they stopped shoveling the neighborhood snow. Um, I'm guessing he had some sort of like attachment to his truck or something.
Yeah.
But um, Red is saying just a few inches are expected, no more than 8.
I want 8.
We had like 1,
Yeah.
2 maybe.
I know. We're supposed to get like 1 to 3 because we're supposed to be mostly rain and then it gets cold.
Oh, that's a fantastic combination. That was the combination that knocked out like all of the DC area when I was a kid.
Yeah, it might be a fun time, and they've been really bad about warning us about wintry weather this year.
So
I mean, Google likes to tell me about the weather everywhere else in the country, but where I live.
yeah, yeah. I remember there was a year when growing up. I grew up in Maryland, in Olney, so about 45 minutes out of DC. 30 if you drove in like the middle of the night when there was no traffic. But the there was a year that they had decided they were going to pre-salt the roads because it was supposed to be really cold and really snowy, and then it was supposed to have freezing rain. So they were going to pre-salt the roads. And they kind of messed things up a little bit near my neighborhood where they actually didn't have enough salt in the mixture, so they pre-iced the roads. And then it snowed like a foot, and then there was freezing rain on top of that. So they couldn't clear the snow for days. It was great as a kid, but this was obviously internet, pre-work from home time period, so my father was not happy. I do remember at least one of those days they shut down his office.
So No Fly says sheep are so stupid that we have to plow one path to the water and a different one back to the barn. They will not turn around and use the same path to go back to the barn.
Wow. I never even thought of like needing to plow routes for your animals. That's amazing. And I thank you for taking such good care of those dumb animals. Red is like us laughing. Hollis has said, "I'm hoping for a bit more rain, more than rain turning to ice." Yeah, yeah, we were hoping for that as well. I believe Jill is going to go get a Diz to make set demonstration. You don't have too much time. I'm not that far behind you. Jill going to Finland again. Are you going to bring back snow? It snows in Finland, right? I mean, there's nobody there to tell, but she's coming back with fiber and a Diz. Ooh, my favorite Diz.
And I forgot a threader, so.
So you're going to push it very hard? Like.
Yeah. So here's a little bat fragment. This has only been through the carder once, so it's not very evenly distributed and doesn't draft super
desperate
nicely.
In need of a Diz.
So I'm just going to put it through the big hole, which usually doesn't require a threader. But you see, like, this is not falling down. So I actually pull away from the Diz and then pull.
So you don't just try and yank it through the Diz
No.
like Play-Doh through a extruder. Oh, Jill, your mic is not on.
Oh, sorry.
Your voice doesn't carry like mine does.
Okay, so let's try this again. Through the middle hole, so I don't have to get a threader. And this is just a bat that's been through the carder once, so it's not very well blended. But I don't just try to tug on the side that I'm pulling through. I first pull back from the hole and then pull through. .
And it doesn't look like all the, I mean, you have all of that fluff going through such a tiny hole.
Yeah.
So pulling back does a little bit of pre-drafting, but then pulling it through the hole does more alignment, right?
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna draft out some so I can I can put a little twist so I can actually get it through the next size hole.
So what Jill is demonstrating right now is how you can just buy a Diz instead of a Diz and threader, which will save you some money.
Yeah, but you can also see how much extra time you put into prepping it so you can get it through the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to get things too crowded at the hole, because then what just happened will happen. And
What happened?
I
didn't see.
It like breaks, almost
Oh.
breaks. So it's like this gentle back and forth.
Now, you're going to end up with something supremely long at the end of this. How do you
Yep.
handle all of that stuff?
You could put it on a distaff.
Wow. That's what those things are for.
Or you can just roll it up into a nice little nest.
This is so mesmerizing. I apologize. I should have more quips, but I will say, in case you're wondering, the reason why that Diz is my favorite Diz is because it is made from a spindle design of, what do you call that? Hero of Time? Did you call it Hero of Time?
No,
or
it's called the Legend.
The Legend. Okay, and it's a Triforce from Legend of Zelda. But this is one.
Nick made a special set that are green and painted gold triangles.
Yeah.
So see, now I have a much longer piece of roving, but this is much more blended, and would draft a lot smoother than that original bat. So if you have a bat that you're just like, oh, that's a little bit too much texture, and you don't want to recard it because maybe recarding is too much like blending.
And you're gonna lose all your color.
If you
separation.
just diz it through, if you just diz it through a smaller hole, it'll do the blending job for you a bit.
Diane, by the way, says the breaking is what always happens to me, right? So if I
That's
understand,
the really gentle back and forth.
yeah. So the key thing is that you don't just yank it through the hole. You give some. You're actually having the Diz in the middle, and you're pulling as if you're drafting.
Yeah.
Apart there.
Yeah. Because you need to keep some staples behind. You have to like make sure that your holes don't get too much fiber going through them at the same. Like,
yeah.
You should be able to pull easily when you do pull.
You don't want to clog
through. Yeah.
All right. I'm getting there. I'm sorry.
It's
Keep
okay.
talking.
You're close.
Keep talking. Oh God, I'm getting thicker now. Just because I'm getting excited.
But I'm gonna do something sometime. So like Jillian Moreno has her combo drafting thing where you like hold you strip pieces of comb top or something to like pencil with, and you hold them together, and then you draft both from the same time, which I cannot do for the life of me.
Oh, I can do that.
You can't. I can't.
It is a bit tricky.
I think what I need to do is introduce a Diz into that.
Okay. Yeah, I could see it.
Tear slightly thicker strips.
Yeah.
Feed them both through the Diz at the same time, and blend them
The cool
while
thing,
they're going through the Diz. And I think that would give enough Velcro between the two different things that they'd be easier to draft at the same time.
the cool thing about the combo spinning with two like drastically different colors is you get barber pulling on your single,
Yeah.
which is super cool.
But I think I could make it easier by introducing a Diz.
Yeah, you should try it.
Mm-hmm.
So by the way, I didn't tell you yesterday when you were out picking up all the kids and stuff. Somebody came around looking for donations for the public pool, which I thought was weird because it's the middle of winter. But I gave him a glass of water anyway. For the pool.
Yes. Yes, I understand.
Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Good night. See
Uh,
you tomorrow for day B.
Right, because B comes after A
Yeah.
in base 12. And happy solstice. It all goes.
It's all uphill from
It's
here.
all uphill from here. It's only brighter days ahead. See you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us again.
Uphill is supposed to be the hard thing. It's all downhill from here.
Something like that.